5 advanced words, plus idiom. At the end, a short story with all the words. Let's begin.
Semblance.
Something that looks or feels real, but is weak, incomplete, or only on the surface. Synonyms: appearance, facade, illusion.
She smiled, but it was only a semblance of happiness. Their relationship had lost any semblance of trust. He kept his daily running routine during lockdown, just to hold on to some semblance of normalcy. She showed a semblance of interest, though she was clearly bored.
Grind. A long period of hard, repetitive work that feels tiring and slow. Synonyms: routine, drudgery, slog.
After years of the corporate grind, she finally launched her own business. The startup culture glorifies the grind, but burnout is real. It's a long, slow grind to learn a new language fluently. Success is often just the result of a tireless, hidden grind.
Waver. To be or become weak, unsteady or uncertain. Synonyms: tremble, hesitate, vacillate.
He wavered between two career choices. She wavered for a moment before signing the contract. After he was caught in a small lie, her trust in him began to waver. Her voice began to waver as she reached the emotional part of the speech.
Adverse. Harmful or unfavorable, not likely to produce a good result. Synonyms: negative, harmful, detrimental.
The flight was canceled due to adverse weather conditions. The tax increase had an adverse effect on small businesses. Growing up in an adverse environment made him very resilient. The drug caused no adverse side effects in the trial.
Tenacious. Showing persistent determination, not easily giving up despite difficulties. Synonyms: persistent, determined, relentless.
The climber's tenacious efforts paid off when they reached the summit. She stayed tenacious and kept going to interviews despite multiple rejections. Ivy is a tenacious plant that can split through brick walls over time. A tenacious cold kept her in bed for 2 weeks.
Against all odds. Despite very low chances of success, succeeding when conditions strongly suggest failure.
He managed to keep his business afloat against all odds during the recession. Against all odds, she was the first in her family to graduate college. The film became a hit against all odds, with a low budget and unknown actors. Against all odds, they stayed together.
Short story using all today's vocabulary.
Nora opened her small bakery just as inflation hit. The market conditions were adverse. Flour, butter, eggs, everything doubled in price within months. Still, Nora was tenacious. Her regulars noticed that she never raised her prices and quietly kept coming back. But keeping prices steady meant cutting costs elsewhere. She regretfully let her 2 assistants go and ran the place alone. The early mornings, the deliveries, the cleaning. For almost a year, it was pure grind, with barely a semblance of a normal life. Against all odds, she kept the doors open, and the neighborhood's loyalty never wavered. When she hired someone again, her refusal to give up had finally paid off.
Today we've learned semblance, grind, waver, adverse, tenacious, against all odds. You'll see them again in future videos, so they'll stick in your memory. Subscribe and watch our podcast to dive even deeper.